Compton and Rising Sun, sir, got multiple people shot. Right now we got 7 people shot. 7 people shot.
Got another one shot here in the way. This is 2 to answer.
Okay, where are you at? Another male shot?
The guy shot in the leg and major artery.
Okay.
So today at 3 p.m., around 3 p.m., in the 7200 Rising Sun Avenue, we have juveniles or students from Northeast High School who are waiting for the bus across the street. We see, based on the video evidence we have so far, we see a car that's parked along the side of the store, of the Dunkin' Donuts. At some point when the bus is pulling up and the kids are converging to get on the bus, 3 individuals exit that vehicle and then and discharges multiple times. At least over 30 times they fire into the kids that are getting onto the bus.
Obviously this is a horrifying event. I want you to imagine for a moment a parent receiving a call saying your child is in the hospital. Your child's been shot. We don't know the condition.
The hourly acts that we've seen over the last 3 days are unacceptable. The fact that we have this situation where I've talked about it multiple times. The downstream impact, and we do not address gun violence, and we do not address guns, is what we see today. You know, and we are going to take press hard each and every day to deal with this issue as the mayor outlined. As a result of what we've seen over the last 3 days, we're going to be ramping up our resources significantly. I want parents and families to know that we're going to be along our corridors across the entire city of Philadelphia until we can figure out exactly what's going on in this situation.
I want you to imagine a parent waiting for their child to come home from school, and that parent hears that something happened at the bus stop where this child is going to wait.
But we will do everything in our power to bring those individuals who are responsible for this shooting today, as well as Monday, and any of the shootings that we have, to justice. But we cannot ignore what we're seeing over the last 3 days. I will not sit here and people call me and tell me what I should or should not be doing. This is what we see when we give guns in the hands of juveniles and what they do with them. Telling kids that they should not carry guns because they're scared. Really? This is an end result of what we see.
This does not just kill and harm the people who were struck with the bullets. This is a devastating, disabling, horrifying event for every child who was out here, every child who goes to that school, every parent whose child goes to that school, every person who rides public transit. And a city lives by its schools, and it lives by its public transit.
We will not be held hostage.
Telling kids that they should not carry guns because they're scared. Really? This is an end result of what we see.
We want no one in the city of Philadelphia concerned about whether or not they can come out and go to the store, go to the supermarket. We don't want you feeling captive in your homes.
Sit here and see in 3 days that I have 11 juveniles shot who are going and coming from school. We're going to be ramping up our resources significantly. I want parents and families to know that we're going to be along our corridors across the entire city of Philadelphia until we can figure out exactly what's going on in this situation, whether it's linked to the situation on Monday, or what do we need to do more moving forward. As a result of that gunfire, we now have 8 students who have been shot, ranging in the age from 15 to 17 years of age. One of the kids is in critical condition. He was shot multiple times. This is an ongoing and active investigation. I echo the words of the mayor. It is hard to sit here and see in 3 days that I have 11 juveniles shot who are going and coming from school.
That was explicitly expressed to them by myself. I said, we're all on the same side. We want to get your son in safely. I'm here to help you. I'm here to get your son in safely. We've gotten all these other individuals in safely. We can do it. Work with us. You have till tomorrow to get him in. Otherwise, the hunt will continue, and his picture will be released to the city of Philadelphia, and we'll be asking for the public's assistance. And on top of that, we'll be all...
Yo, what it is, people, we is back. Another day on Keep It G News, and they always in Philadelphia, y'all. Philly. A lot been going on in Philly lately, man. A lot of drilling been going on in Philly lately, Young boys is out of control, or young bulls, like they say down there, or up there, is out of control. And in this video, that's what we're going to talk, y'all, because you just heard the police chief, the attorney general, and the mayor speaking on violence, and it seemed like, at least the feel I get from them is like they think this is something that they can't solve. They're frustrated with it. They don't know which way to go. They done tried everything. But I don't think that's what they did, you know. Every time you got these crimes that are deemed bizarre, everybody is scrambling, trying to figure out why this happened. How can we move forward? How can we fix this? But you never really see no real plan get put into place other than send them to prison. You know, that is always the remedy to black youth. Send them to prison. And in this video, we're going to talk about some black youth because you just heard that a school bus stop was shot up. 8 people was hit in that incident. But within the last week or so in Philly, 15 people were shot, 11 was juveniles. 1 juvenile lost his life. So in order for us to get and cover all these topics, I got to take y'all to that crime they was talking about so y'all can hear the players that was involved in the crime. And I want y'all to pay attention to how aggressively they're pursuing these kids.
Just a short time ago, showing the gunman and a blue Hyundai Sonata as the shooters opened fire on the group waiting for the bus. This was right up the street from their school, Northeast High. The chaos captured on emergency dispatches.
Detectives believe this shooting is possibly a retaliation for Monday's deadly shooting near Imhotep High School. The bus that was stopping by the kids today got hit many times itself. Large, big bullet holes through several windows. Other bullets you see going into the steel frame of the bus. The driver took off to get away and raced to safety somehow. This time, unlike Monday, no one on the bus was shot. A second Septa bus today was also hit by 3 bullets, and that bus took off too.
Students from nearby Northeast High School were shot while boarding the bus. Police say at least 30 shots were fired within seconds. Police sources say a car matching the description of the dark blue Hyundai seen in this video was recovered in Olney, though it's unclear if the Ogons and Northeast shootings are related. Police say the ages of the victims range from 15 to 17 years old. One 16-year-old shot 9 times and is in critical condition.
Mass shooting at a Septa bus stop that injured 8 Northeast High School students. Police say 2 teenagers are in custody tonight, and they're on the hunt for 2 more.
Both Philly police sources tell me have extensive juvenile crime records, but now are 18 years old and facing a long list of the most serious adult charges possible, including attempted murder. It was the blue getaway car that Highway Patrol found in the dark alley in Olney just 7 hours later that held the evidence linking the first arrested. Jamal Tucker turned himself into police Friday night after he learned detectives went to his home earlier that day with a warrant to get him. Sources tell me he then instantly began cooperating, leading police to get a warrant and help from the U.S. Marshals, who then found suspect number 2, Aniley Buggs, nabbed here in the 900 block of North 42nd Street. This was the moment 19-year-old Jermod Carter was walked out of his father's home on Academy Road close to Woodhaven. A rare midday capture by U.S. Marshals with Philadelphia police detectives on hand just 23 hours after Philadelphia city leaders had announced the arrest of the first 2 suspects in Wednesday's mass shooting of 8 Northeast High School students at a Septa bus stop. Carter was number 3, and moments after his 3:30 arrest, I spoke to his dad, who had answered the front door when the marshals came knocking. What can you tell me happened with your son?
I don't know. I just came to the door and to machine guns.
You came to the door and they had machine guns in your face? What did they say to you?
They just brought me outside.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I need him.
The marshals sat him down on the front steps, arms handcuffed behind his back, and snapped more photos of him being taken away into custody. Notice one of the lead detectives carrying that brown paper bag. Sources tell me they found another gun. Now, here's the question. Was that one of the guns used? Well, they'll have to forensically test that gun, but they're pretty confident that they may have found a second of the 3 guns used to shoot those 8 students at that bus stop last Wednesday, waiting for their bus home from Northeast Philadelphia High School.
At that location, we recovered a .40 caliber Glock 22 pistol with an extended magazine. It was fully loaded. All right. It also had laser sights on it, and it had what we call a Glock switch, which made that firearm fully automatic. It was a machine gun. That gun matched multiple casings at the scene of 7300 Rising Sun.
The worst of the wounded, that young man shot 9 times who was critical, has been upgraded by doctors. Not only is he going to live, but he was conscious and talking so much that the detectives left here at headquarters to go interview him at the hospital tonight.
Marshals offering an update a short time ago while also telling that remaining suspect to surrender now.
3 of the 4 suspects in custody, and this 4th has one last night to get to a place like this. We're at the 35th district at Broad and Shampost, and he needs to get to any Philadelphia police district or headquarters real soon and turn himself in before his face and identity are put out to the public with a reward offer. Now, the 4th wanted male in Wednesday's shooting of those 8 Northeast high school students, we've learned is a 17-year-old boy from Germantown. And marshals have been in touch with his family. They were at the house today telling them he's got these last few hours to get in here, or tomorrow maybe somebody will get to him before they do once his identity.
Now some people might say, yo, why you always call them kids? Because that's what I think they is, you know. 18, 19, yeah, they say you're an adult, but at the end of the day, most 18, 19-year-olds' brain is still functioning like a kid. You know what I mean? And you're going to hear later on in this video that though 2 18 and 19-year-old kids was arrested, they was hanging with a 17-year-old that still want to run. But I don't think you're going to be in a run too long, man, because the city of Philly is pressing the hammer down, man. They is not playing, and you heard why. Multiple people shot. That is not something you can play around with. But I don't like the fact how they demonize these kids like the kids are the problem. And it ain't the kids, it's the parents. You know, it's not the kids, it's the parents. It's the environment that creates these problems. But nobody seems to want to fix the environment. They always want to fix the people that come out of the environment, the product that come out of the environment. But as long as the environment ain't going to change, the product is going to remain the same. They're just going to keep producing them. And that's what we're saying in Philadelphia, as well as something that I always speak about that I believe is an accelerant in crime, and that's drill music. But I don't want to get too far off track, because you heard when the mayor and the attorney general and the chief of police was talking about a crime that happened early on in the week. But I didn't take y'all through the crime yet, because in this situation, just like the one we just spoke about where it was 11 shot at a bus stop, a Septa bus stop, I guess that's their name of their bus line in Philadelphia. About 7 days ago, 4 was shot on a similar bus stop.
Ogons, 3 Emotep students and 2 women were shot at a Septa bus stop. One of the women, 71 years old, shot in the head but is expected to survive. One of the students, however, 17-year-old Damon Taylor, was killed. His funeral was Friday morning.
Now, I want to send my condolences, yo, to everybody that lost their life and anybody that was affected throughout this. I'm talking about even the victims and the families, because they all suffer. I agree with the police chief. Everybody suffers in these type of situations, even the community, you know. Nobody, especially older folks, they don't want to be in a situation where they don't feel comfortable to, you know, just step outside and get a breath of fresh air because a bullet might fly past them. But that's what we're dealing with, you know. The guns got bigger. People using switches, automatic weapons, rifles. It's crazy. And I spoke to y'all before about where they think that they came from. They blamed it on the sit down. During the sit down, a lot of people was buying more firearms, and y'all know what happened after the sit down? Inflation. And when inflation hit, they think a lot of them hit the streets. I beg to differ. That may be 10% of the reason, but it could be something else. But Damian Taylor lost his life about 3-4 days before this shooting happened at this other bus stop. Now, they didn't make any connection. You know, they still trying to investigate. But you heard earlier in the first clips that I played that one of the juveniles, one of the 18-year-olds that got arrested, told immediately. But this is what we're going to expect. That's what I'm saying when you're dealing with these young boys. And this is to the youth. Y'all might be rocking and rolling now, but when y'all get put in a situation like these boys is in, you talking about 11 shot? Your right-hand man, you know, your fall partner, he ain't going to fall by himself. He's going to take you with him. And this is how it always goes, you know. A lot of these kids, they think they ready for the streets, but they never been in this type of situation. Now you got a 17-year-old on a run that we're going to speak about later, because I want y'all to hear how aggressively they're pursuing this kid. I'm talking about they going to uncharacteristic, drastic measures to secure this kid arrested. They ain't even worried about a conviction. They offering money. But Damian Taylor. And the reason I think this may have been drill related is because it's a video. Now, I'm not saying this is why he was murdered. But I'm saying that it's possible. We're dealing with drill music. And whenever you talking about this and the dead, things can get tricky.
What happened? What you say?
Shimo, look at Shimo. I don't even know I'm smoking weed with Shimo in it, cause Shimo ain't get back. They ain't get back. What? Cheese controlling, man. I thought you said cheese. I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
Now, in that video, you heard Damian Taylor say, don't post this. Somehow, some way, it ended up on the internet. And maybe the wrong people saying it. I'm not saying he should have lost his life behind this, if that's the case. But what I am saying is, we got to be aware that these type of things is going on, yo. And we got to understand that once you diss somebody, dead family member or dead partner, you damn near writing your death ticket. And I get it. I understand. These are kids. These are juveniles. Their brain don't stretch that far. Even though they see it. Some people might think it's crazy. You know, they can see their mans get locked up. They can see their homeboys get killed. But they never think that it's going to hit them because I don't know why. You know, you got to talk to somebody that's work on the brain and, you know, brain function and juveniles. But at the end of the day, yo, it's sad and tragic that he lost his life, yo. And we got to realize that this and the dead is not a thing. It wasn't a thing when I was growing up, but we made it a thing now when this is something that needs to stop because it's driving and fueling crime everywhere it goes. I'm talking about everywhere it goes, y'all. And I spoke about the crime in Philly just last week. Look how many people were shot, y'all. 15 shot, yo. 11 juveniles. Juveniles. We got juveniles all across the United States gunning down juveniles. And the ones that's doing the shooting is going to prison. So we is losing on all avenues. And then you got the black police chief and the black mayor calling for stricter gun laws on juveniles. This is not a recipe to win, y'all. It might sound good, you know. It might sound like this is going to solve the crime in the neighborhood, but it ain't. As long as the neighborhood remain the same. We need to be focused on fixing the neighborhood first. The people going to change on his own. You know, locking up people has never been a way to freedom in the black community. It's never been a way to see the black community produce better fruits. I mean, y'all heard the roads that grew from concrete. Like, we is living in concrete jungles, and very so often roses grow. A lot of time it's weeds and sticks and things like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is not the route we willing to go, but this is always the route they're willing to go when you're dealing with black youth in America. Send them to prison. Let the system deal with them. You know, at least that way we ain't got to worry about them. But at the end of the day, they gone. But their little brother coming up just like them because they experiencing the same things that this kid experienced that made him this way. You got to understand, y'all, kids are not born crazy. You know, kids are not born violent. The environment makes them that way. You know, the things they see make them that way. The trauma makes them that way. But nobody focuses on that. People never seem to make that a point of issue when you're dealing with black youth in America. But that's what it is. And I'm willing to say that firmly and stand on it. That's what it is. In order to change the environment, or the kids, you got to change the environment that they live. Only thing kill crime is opportunity. And all across the United States, you got black youth living in impoverished environments where all the resources has been taken out of the community. Some of them even got food deserts in their neighborhood where they can't even walk to a convenience store that's going, you know, look out for them, you know, serve them good prices. When you got the corner store taxing you on everything that you buy in there. This is the problem. But these are the problems that's not being addressed. So I never want to hear when these politicians get to talk about, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that, because they don't want to do it. There's no positivity in stopping crime. At least not for them. This is how they eat. This is how they survive. This is how they stay in the limelight. This is how they move up in their careers. So the only people that can fix the community is community. Because we're not going to get help on that end. I don't care how good they make it seem. Yeah, these boys going to jail. Yeah, they probably going to spend the rest of their life in prison. But that's still 3 black kids or 4 black kids still in prison. But I ain't done yet, y'all, because that was only 3 of them, and there's still one more on the run. But listen to what the police departments and the attorney general and the CIA, whoever's investigating this, look at what they're willing to do to lock this boy up.
Marshals are now offering a $5,000 reward. They're also sending a warning to anybody who is helping 17-year-old Asir Boon, the 4th suspect that is still at large. If anyone is helping him, that they too will be prosecuted. Today, the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force released this wanted poster of 17-year-old Asir Boon with a $5,000 reward attached.
The family is very aware that we are looking for our 4th suspect. They were somewhat cooperative. We are hopeful they do the right thing.
Last night, they issued a warning to his family and to the suspect. You have until Wednesday morning to turn yourself in. That deadline came and went. Investigators believe Boon is one of 4 young men connected to last Wednesday's shooting that injured 8 Northeast High School students at a Septa bus stop along Cotman Avenue in Burlholme. Yesterday afternoon, marshals and Philadelphia police took the 3rd suspect, 19-year-old Jermod Carter, into custody. Investigators say intel led them to the 12,000 block of Academy Road in Northeast Philadelphia. On Monday, investigators announced the arrest of the first 2 suspects, 18-year-old Jamal Tucker and 18-year-old Anil Buggs. Court records revealed Buggs contacted an inmate at the Pine Grove prison a day after the Cotman Avenue shooting to talk about another teen who had been shot to death 2 days prior. Police have said they're still working to determine whether the mass shooting was possibly connected to the murder of an Imhotep charter high school student, 17-year-old Damon Taylor, at a Septa bus stop in the Ogon section. And Sarah, that $5,000 reward is paid out immediately. Unlike other rewards, we have to wait until a conviction. Again, that $5,000 reward is for any information that leads to the capture of 17-year-old Asir.
Now, most people know normally in these situations, y'all, whenever they offer a reward, that reward is pending on conviction, but not this situation. All you gotta do is give them a tip that leads to arrest, and you got $5,000 in your pocket. And this is a messed up situation. Fucked up predicament for Shorty, but this is what I'm saying. These kids didn't ever think that it was going to go this big, even though 8 people got shot. What did you expect as an adult? But as a juvenile, they thought they was going to get away with it because somebody they know may have got away with it in the past, but enough is enough. And every so often, these cities and states make examples out of kids, and these kids are going to be the example. They is not getting away with this. And any family member willing to help this 17-year-old kid is going to face stiff consequences. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, nobody wins. You got parents struggling with the fact that, do I allow my son do I gift them to the prison system? Or do I protect them and then risk my freedom and risk my life? But that's what we dealing with. But these juveniles, they don't really understand that. You know, they don't think that far ahead. They don't realize that if I pull this trigger, how many lives am I going to affect? You know, never think about that. But this is what we dealing with. Now you got a 17-year-old on the run that's going to get caught. If I was him, I would just turn myself in, yo. This is not a situation you're going to be able to avoid. You know, and once you pull that trigger, y'all got to understand, you know, the shooters, that there's no coming back from that. You got to be willing to face any consequences that come from that, even death. And the police didn't even care enough about him. You know, they more concerned about him going to jail or possibly getting killed than anything. Because that was the reason they say they didn't want to release his face. Because of fear of retaliation. But it got to a point, it's like now and then, hey, now we after you and your so-called ops is after you. Who going to get you first? It's like a race. And in my opinion, it'd be a hard decision for me to tell my son to turn himself in. But this is not a situation where you're going to be able to run from, shorty. I mean, you can't run from this. You decided to jump into the big man role and make this decision. Now you got to stand on it. And you got to accept it however it go. Your man already telling on you. You know, that was your fall partner. That was the man you probably did the last shooting with. He already telling. So he can get 50 years. Just to make sure y'all get life. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, y'all. This is a tragic situation, y'all. I'm sick and tired of seeing our youth go out this way, y'all. It's like we gift wrapped them to the penitentiary. And now we in situations where the crime in the neighborhood is so bad that we got black people calling for stiffer laws. And all they're going to do is come down on our youth. They might they might come up with a situation where now, at 13 years old, you can go to prison with the adults. And I don't think that's what we want. But let me know how y'all feel about us in the comments. Never there, keep it G News.
Nigga can't do what I do, y'all niggas can't copy me. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep the shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G.